And now, suspense.
All right, so I'm back with another haul, and this time we've got two from Zia, and then the rest are from Bookman's. Not a huge haul this time around. Not a huge stack, but nonetheless, I do tend to ramble and talk and all that. So I figure seven to nine movies. Each haul video should be okay. That way it doesn't run super long. But we'll find out, I guess. And we're just gonna get right into it. So first up, I grabbed Avengers Age of Ultron on 4K. This was from Zia, and now this one I had just stopped in at a Zia, maybe 25 minutes away from me. It's in an area that I don't really go to very often, and I thought, hey, there's a Zia down the street. Let's go check it out. And I saw this, and I had to have it because I've been trying to collect all of the Avengers movies on 4K with slipcovers, and I was able to find this one for $15 with the slipcover. So these are very hard to come by with the slipcovers. That's one of the things that I've been finding to be quite annoying, is that I have been slowly collecting all of the MCU movies that I really enjoy on 4K. But Avengers Age of Ultron was the last Avengers movies that I needed on 4K with the slipcover, so I was really happy to find it. I did rewatch it. This has been my least favorite Avengers movie for the longest time. I rewatched it, and my opinions have not changed. There are still things about this movie that I absolutely hate, and there are things that are still pretty entertaining about it. For instance, I absolutely hate the romance between Bruce and Natasha. It's extremely cringe. It just came out of nowhere. Terrible. The dialogue between the two when they're trying to flirt is beyond cringe.
That shit is fucking trash, dog. Get the fuck off the airwaves.
Just thinking about it is gives me goosebumps. But yeah, and then the introduction of characters just kind of this feels pretty much like a 2+ hour long setup / commercial for all of the other movies. They're setting up Ragnarok, they're setting up Black Panther, the romance between Vision and Scarlet Witch, and just none of it to me really works. So yeah, and then they totally wasted Ultron as a villain, and totally wasted James Spader, who is a phenomenal actor and has a great voice. So yeah, just a lot of stuff I don't like about this movie, but it's not terrible enough to where I'm like, I do not want that stink in my collection. But yeah, finally found it. Next up, this was one that I had to grab at Zia because no one else had it. I've hardly ever even seen anybody talk about this transfer or this release. I don't even know if a lot of people even got it, but it was pretty scarce in my area, so I had to grab it at Zia when I did, because they were just selling out like crazy. Every store I called, they were like, oh yeah, that just sold out. So I was like, damn. So I had to get it, and that is Cocaine Bear on 4K. It looks really good on 4K. This is one of those movies too that did pretty well. And when it came out, a lot of people supported the physical, and then it ended up getting a 4K release later on. Talked about this in my last haul video, the whole double-edged sword and really annoying part of collecting and enjoying physical media is that we enjoy a movie, it gets a Blu-ray, and then later on it gets a 4K, which is extremely annoying because some people don't want to double dip. Some people just want to have the option of the Blu-ray and or 4K then and there. But like I said, the studios see that there's an audience, so they want to release a 4K. They're testing the waters with the Blu-ray. Very annoying, but I'm glad I didn't buy a Cocaine Bear on Blu-ray and waited, and I got Cocaine Bear on 4K for $20. Really fun movie. I honestly hate that a lot of people went into this thinking they were gonna get Jaws level writing or Jaws level filmmaking. I mean, the title pretty much says it all. I mean, did you guys think that you were gonna get anything different than a batshit crazy movie about a bear super high on cocaine?
Nigga, you dumb as hell.
Another movie that I've been talking into existence. This shit really does work, people. Manifestation is real. If you believe it, if you think it, if you speak it, it will happen. So, but I'll get to that in a second. So from Bookman's, I ended up grabbing Pan's Labyrinth. It was I've actually never come across this 4K out in the wild, so I thought, you know what, I need to grab it. No slipcover, but that's okay. I've actually never seen this movie apart from like clips on the internet. Pretty sure I'll enjoy it. It is from Guillermo del Toro, and I do happen to like a lot of his movies anyway. I already know that visually it's gonna look fantastic. So hopefully I like it. I have yet to watch it though, and it is all in Spanish. So, but that I don't. I speak Spanish, so it doesn't bother me. So I could watch this entire movie in the original language without subtitles, and I'll understand every single word. Next up, cool little flick based on a true story. Really cool stunts in this movie. If you know, Lone Survivor with this really cool slipcover. Like these slipcovers are kind of weird. There's a few movies that I've found that have this like kind of. It's not like holographic or anything, but it's like real glossy and shiny, and it kind of sits on top. You can't really see it, but it kind of just sits on top of the actual cover. You know what I mean? I thought it was really cool. It's only like $10 at Bookman's, and it's one that I've been trying to look for on 4K for a while for a good price. So very cool movie. Mark Wahlberg, based on a true story of these guys that go on a Black Ops mission and goes awry, you know? Next up, we have, I really like this movie. There's just something about it that I really enjoy. Storks on 4K. I don't know. I just really like this movie. If you guys know the character of Pigeon Toady, he's hilarious. I really like that character.
What up?
I tend to really enjoy like underrated or less talked about, lesser known animated films. Everyone just kind of like talks about the Disney movies, and I mean like that's all good and everything, but people fail to realize that Disney isn't the only people that make animated movies. There are different animated movies out there, and a lot of them are really good if you give them the chance. Really happy that I found this one that I've been looking to upgrade for a long time. I got rid of the Blu-ray thinking that finding the 4K was going to be pretty easy, and it turned out to not be so easy. So I haven't had this movie in my collection for a long time. And then lo and behold, it shows up at Bookman's for a really good price, and that is Criminal on 4K. Pretty odd movie. Really interesting concept. Not the greatest movie. The execution of it, I think, is one of those movies that I really love the premise, but the execution of it is just doesn't hit as great as it could have been. But seeing Kevin Costner is like really like it's unnerving. I think it's really unnerving. If you've seen this movie, you know that it's very unnerving to see Kevin Costner as this like really sick and like twisted individual. This cast is also stacked. You got Gal Gadot, you got Tommy Lee Jones, you got Gary Oldman, Ryan Reynolds is in this. Pretty cool movie. And yeah, I was able to find it with the slipcover. The slipcover is pretty hard to come by. I mean, the movie itself is hard to come by, so to find it with the slipcover was just an added bonus. In my ignorance, I totally forget that some of these movies are going to be very hard to find on 4K because they're very either obscure or they had like a limited run or people just didn't care about them enough to support it as much. So they kind of just disappeared. And last but not least, one of my best finds in a long time. The last one before this was probably Bedazzled on Blu-ray. So I literally manifested this last pickup.
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest. Get your hand off my penis!
So after watching this guy's video on YouTube where he does like swap meet hunts, and it just kind of like annoyed me to no end because I was like, why didn't you grab that, my guy? Why didn't you get that? I go to Bookman's and I find the same exact copy with the slipcover for a damn good price. This is one I've been watching and keeping my eye on for a long time, and I thought I was going to have to go to eBay and pay $40+ for it, but that is Unforgiven on 4K with this awesome super out of print slipcover. I did kind of damage it right here, but I don't care. I really do not care. I'm not going to sell this copy anyway, but yeah, that came like there was a sticker on there, this really nasty sticker on there, and when I peeled it off, a bit of the foil from the slipcover came off, but I don't care. I really don't care.
Don't care, don't care, don't care, still don't care. I don't care.
But yeah, I saw somebody's video where they were at a swap meet, no less, and they passed by this they passed by Unforgiven with the slipcover on 4K, and they're like, "Oh, okay." And I was just like, and I commented like, "Bro, that movie with, I mean, the movie itself is already really hard to come by for a good price. You probably would have been able to get it for like $5 or less at that swap meet. Watching swap meet videos is pretty frustrating sometimes when you can't just like scream at them in that moment, like pick that up, like grab that movie or grab that collectible or something, you know what I mean? But yeah, I went to Bookman's, and lo and behold, like literally like a couple days later, or I think like next day or 2 days later, I find this. So it's great. And it looks really good on 4K. Awesome find. So that'll do it for this 4K Blu-ray haul. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts about any of these movies in the comments below. See you next time.
What are your superpowers again?
I'm rich.
I'm rich, bitch!